Now, in the meantime, in the logistics sector, amongst the providers, there have been all these courtships, marriages, a couple of divorces, where M&A activity amongst the big guys in the logistics sector has happened. Now, in the meantime, in the logistics sector, amongst the providers, there have been all these courtships, marriages, a couple of divorces, where M&A activity amongst the big guys in the logistics sector has had this consolidation at the top and an element of convergence where previously discrete sectors are now converging and coming together. So we see shipping lines buying logistics companies. We see port terminal operators partnering with logistics companies. And we see the global giant Maersk wanting to be the global integrated logistics provider with a global offering. So we have consolidation where companies are joining together into one, and we have convergence where companies are uniting in a common interest. Why would they do that? Well, this is from a Deloitte study about M&A trends published earlier this year. And on the left-hand side, we see the most important drivers why companies across any sector undertake M&A activities. And on the right-hand side, we see what they say is the most important success factor to ensure a successful acquisition. And the most important success factor is effective integration. And in my corporate life, I went through a few acquisitions, a couple of times, big times. Unfortunately, my business that I worked for was getting acquired rather than being the acquirer. And the integration wasn't too effective for me because I ended up being out of work through the consolidation process. But if we think about, I'm not sure how many companies we have from Europe here, but I'm sure many of you will know these leading corporate logistics providers in Europe. 4 of them household brand names, Wicanton probably more local in Western Europe. But if we track back their DNA from whence they came, we can see that over a decade, companies got gobbled up along the way to create these 5 big household names. And then more recently, through a decade through to 2016, there were 23 major acquisitions around the world. Acquisition deals totaling more than $40 billion. And I've coupled them together in little boxes there. The box in the middle is XPO Logistics. They acquired 17 companies in less than 5 years to become a top 5 global third-party logistics provider. And then we have these ones along the bottom. The company on top is the acquirer, and the company underneath is the one that got acquired. Some of the acquired companies have disappeared. Some have maintained their brand within the new entity. IBM Logistics, Baltrans. Toll acquired here and then got acquired here. The Toll brand is still out there in the market. And of course, in our own space in container shipping, these guys have all been at it as well. So we've seen consolidation over the years, a reduction in the total amount of shipping lines, but then a grouping of pretty much almost anybody that really counts being in one of 3 families. So this provides operational economies for the shipping lines, but at the end of the day reduces choice for the customers, and indeed in many cases causes chaos in the container terminal when you've got all this interline shipping through effectively the code sharing system. And then most recently, just in the last less than 12 months, we've seen some very interesting developments. So Maersk announced this global integrated logistics provider strategy and is reconfiguring the Damco relationship. We have CMA CGM, massive shipping line, large terminal operator, acquiring a huge chunk of Seva Logistics. And at the same time, just in the last few months, we've seen DSV looking to acquire Seva Logistics. So there's a bit of a battle going on there. At the same time, Seva Logistics rejected the approach or the bid from DSV, and DSV then went to have a look at Panalpina, who everybody speculates is going to be sold. Panalpina rejected the DSV approach, and Panalpina started talking to Agility. In the meantime, Kuehne+Nagel are also in this mix of potentially going to swoop on one or more of these others. So we're up in the Division 1, the Premier League here. There's a lot of jockeying going around for more consolidation and mergers. The latest news just last week is that DSV may also be looking at Hellman worldwide and maybe looking at Dachser. And of course, everybody denies this until they have an announcement to make. So there's all this going on behind the scenes. What is confirmed is that COSCO, huge shipping line, is deepening their strategic partnership with Bolloré, a logistics company, big, strong presence in the African subcontinent, French origins, a 4PL provider, is now partnering up with a strategic alliance with the Chinese shipping line. And then on the bottom right, we've got a 700 million euro deal where Shengfeng Holdings, the parent company of SF Express, paid DHL 700 million euros for their China warehousing and transport business, the business that's called DHL Supply Chain China. That's a 10-year agreement that they paid 700 million euros for, plus a revenue commission effectively back to the DHL Corporation for use of the brand and the systems and the processes. That is confirmed. It was finalized just last week.